It's Saturday, and we're on our way to a tight-knit mountain town called Tehachapi, California. It's about 40 miles from where we live, and our first stop is this place called Westlane Brewing. I've actually been waiting quite a while to come and check out this venue. It's pretty well known for hardcore and punk shows. Some bigger bands that have played there have been DI, The Warriors, Ursula. They also host a vinyl night every third Friday of the month where you can bring your own vinyl and DJ Luna Void will actually play it for you. I really appreciate that this is an all ages venue. Sometimes parents and their kids need to get out too, and I think it's up to the parents' discretion to decide what is an appropriate place for their kid to be. So I do like that they have a lot of all ages events. Some families might decide that a brewery is not a place for a child or a baby, and that's totally your call. My husband and I just feel like it's the equivalent to having a beer at dinner, so we really don't mind it. To drink, my husband had the Tropic Thunder IPA, and I had their non-alcoholic beer called the Athletic Light Beer. It was actually really good. We didn't look into what was happening that night. I just brought the baby's noise-canceling headphones just in case she needed them, and they actually were doing a laugh track comedy show. I think it's something new that they're starting out there. And it seemed like a lot of newer comedians were getting up on the mic and doing stand-up.
You got it. We had a fall from grace. Everybody's leaving California. Everything's terrible. And honestly, I think California is just one of the worst places to be right now. Can we all agree on that, honestly?
Nah, I'm not agreeing on that. I'm going to probably live and die in California. So I know it's got its issues. I know it's very expensive. But yeah, no California hate for me. So in the last clip, I'm sure you noticed that I was outside with my baby. And the reason why I walked outside was because she is a heckler. We actually ended up getting a refund for the cover charge because the promoter, the guy that put the whole show together, he noticed that we were missing from the crowd, and he actually went outside and was like, "Hey, here's your money back. I'm really sorry that, you guys couldn't sit in there and enjoy the show." My husband was in there for a little bit, but I asked him if we could leave because the baby would not stop yelling and heckling the comedians. She wasn't crying. She was just really excited. And I was like, hey, I got to get her outside because she is just way too hype right now. I was totally cool with not getting a refund. I was actually really happy to support the comedians and their event, but he insisted on giving us our money back. And he also offered, that if we wanted to come back inside once the baby settled down, we were totally welcome to come back in. But the comedy was really raunchy, and my daughter was just, there was nothing I could do to make her stop yelling because I think she felt the energy and everybody laughing, and yeah, I just didn't want to ruin their show. So we decided to move on to our next stop, which is House of Wax, and that is a local vinyl shop in Tehachapi. Before we continue into the House of Wax, I do want to give my honest review on Westlane Brewing, and I'm going to say that it's a little bit mixed because I actually had a really nice time. I liked that before we got in, we asked if we could bring in the baby. They said it was fine. They actually were kind of encouraging us to come in, but there was a couple of things that I wasn't so happy with. I no longer drink, so I asked my husband to go up to the bar when he was getting his beer and ask the bartender what alcohol-free options they had for me. And usually they have a 0% alcohol beer or seltzer, and if not, I'll usually just grab a Sprite or water. But this bartender gave him such an attitude and was actually kind of just making him feel kind of dumb for even asking that question. And I didn't even know that had happened until we left the brewery. I get it, you're a bartender and you probably don't understand why somebody would come into a bar or brewery asking for something without alcohol, but that's really nobody's business. I'm not going to harp on this for too long, but the bartender could have been more friendly, and that is why I'm giving it a bit of a mixed review, because most of the people that we met there were very nice and wanted us to come in and hang out. But I really am not good with spending money or spending time in a place where the bartender or anyone that works there makes you feel dumb or like you're asking a question that is kind of annoying to them. So do with that what you will. Maybe he was just having a bad day. Maybe that's how he always is. I have no clue. Will we come back to Westlane to give it a second chance? That is yet to be determined. So now that we have all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and move forward on to House of Wax, which is our new favorite place in Tehachapi. This store is amazing, and they've got some hidden gems and a really nice setup. The AC is on point in there, and that's one of my favorite albums right there. Let me go ahead and rewind that. So anyone that knows me in person knows that my all-time favorite band is Green Day. And I'm talking about Green Day prior to 1997, 1998 at the latest. And this album is my favorite, and I'll explain to you why. First of all, Green Day was the band that exposed me to what punk sounded like or pop punk sounded like. Before that, I was just a little kid who listened to random things on the radio. I didn't really know what I was into. I liked what I liked, and I was, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. But I saw Green Day on MTV one day, and it kind of, this is a little bit silly, but they changed my life. Fast forward to me being 12, 13, I finally get my hands on a computer. I start ordering everything that was made prior to Dookie and really start diving deep into where they're from, what they're about, Billy Joe's life, his lyrics, their history, and I just really was a huge Green Day fanatic. And I say was because I'm talking about the band prior to 1997, 1998. I think the last album of theirs that I kind of enjoyed was Warning, but Nimrod was my favorite, and it's still my favorite. If people ask me what my favorite album is to this day, I say that it's Nimrod. Prior to this album, you had the sounds of Insomniac, Dookie, Kerplunk, Smooth Out Slappy, and Nimrod was just very experimental. It had a lot of ballads and some songs that would be considered harder for Green Day, and it was just all over the place. There's even a surf song on there. There was just something about this album where you could really feel that Billy Joe was struggling with growing up and being a dad, being a husband, being a musician. It sounded like there was a lot of reflection on what he has done to get there, and also kind of what a piece of shit he was at times. I mean, there's a song where he's talking about he should just keep his mouth shut and he should apologize, things like that. Lines like that make me think that he was being very self-reflective of his success and the path going forward, not only for himself, but for his band and maybe even his family. In my opinion, if Green Day had an emo album, this would be it. I'm not calling it emo because of the sound, but more for the lyrical content and the heaviness that comes with this album. Some of my favorite tracks are Scattered, Redundant, and Walking Alone. And if you haven't heard this or have already listened to it in the past, I would say give it another listen, especially if you're in kind of a depressed mood or feeling pretty angry that day. There are some bangers that you might relate to, and there's even a couple songs to chill out to. All right, moving on. So they don't just sell vinyls, they also have a section of their store where they are showcasing people's jewelry and artwork and clothing. I think they're doing kind of a consignment thing in here, and I'm really happy to see that a lot of it is local. I'm all about supporting small businesses, small artists, and I'm really happy to see that they are too. I'm also so surprised that cassettes have been making a comeback in the past few years. They have a small yet unique selection of posters right next to the little area where you can relax, play video games, listen to music, and color. By the way, if you find a vinyl that you're not sure about or you'd like to give it a listen before you purchase it, they had 2 setups for record players with headphones. So I think you just ask the staff and they'll set that up for you. And this is where my daughter and I kind of took a little break from record browsing and shopping with my husband. I won't be talking too much while we go through the metal, punk, hardcore, new wave, indie albums that they have. They have a great selection, so come along with us while we browse and wrap up our visit at House of Wax in Tehachapi, California. That was such a good time in there. It was so relaxing, and we ended up taking 2 vinyls home that day, and we got a free gift for our purchase. So I will be showing those towards the end of the video. Now we're just kind of exploring Tehachapi. I can't remember about what time this was. I think it was actually close to 8 p.m. This is actually out in the mountains, and where we live around 8 o'clock, it is still so hot. You would be outside sweating. But it was nice and breezy up here. There was fresh air, and I really enjoyed the walk. I'm not going to say that people in Tehachapi are very friendly. A lot of people that saw us looked the other way, or they just kind of looked at us like we were ghosts, but it's fine. I think that all in all, Tehachapi is a very unique town. They might not be too friendly. They might not be too welcoming to strangers. I'm not really sure, but I definitely would give this place another go, especially if there's an event going on. We'll just have to wait and see. This is one of the vinyls we picked up at House of Wax, and it's Joyce Manor's I Used to Go to This Bar album. It's their latest release, and it is great. Check it out. They did not stray from their signature sound, and that makes my heart very happy. Also, this came with a free air freshener, and we love little freebies. Some tracks that really stand out to me on this album are Gray Guitar, All My Friends Are So Depressed, and I Know Where Mike Chen Lives. The next purchase is actually my husband's pick by a band called Homefront. In my opinion, they're a blend of punk with dark, post-punk, and new wave vibes. But don't box them in there because they also blend in elements of oi and aggressive street punk. Homefront is phenomenal and a breath of fresh air, and we're actually seeing them this August at Sound and Fury, and I cannot wait for their set. I know we're going to be dancing our asses off. My favorite songs from this album are Light Sleeper and Watch It Die. If you haven't already figured it out by now, I am huge on family, and I'm a very proud older sister of my little brother who's in the band Atlas Has Fallen. I'm going to do a shameless plug for their newest video, The Empty Chair, and their album I Am, which was released last Friday. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Music, and I'll link the video in the description below. When I say thank you for watching, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Right now, this is my only creative outlet, which is vlogging and making videos with my husband for myself and the YouTube channel. So I appreciate every like, every subscribe, even just watching 10 minutes of my video. It means a lot to me. And I know that I should probably be posting more. I'm doing my best to do that. When I was doing shorts, I was able to post new videos pretty much every other day during the week. But my schedule is just a lot different now, especially now that my daughter's getting older. And it's summer, so I'm taking care of more kids for the summer because I do have my daycare. And I just have a lot of things going on during the week. So if you're still here and you're tuning in, I appreciate your patience. I know that as time progresses, I'll be able to post more consistently. But right now, this is the time that I have. And I'm just really happy that anyone's still even sticking around to watch my videos because they do mean a lot to me. So thank you, and I will see you on our next adventure. Bye.